What is going on, guys? This is Jake at That Fit Friend, and today we're going to be looking at the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top. So 3 pros that I have with this model is that if you're like myself and you like mid and high top shoes for lifting and daily wear, I like this model a lot. The minimalist branding is a hit for me. It just looks very clean. You can rock these with shorts and pants and then rock them to the gym, and they're going to perform really well in the context of lifting. So if you are that person like myself who does like having a little bit of ankle support here and there for their training sessions and like mid and high top shoes, this is a good model to look into. The second pro that I have with this shoe is the outsole and midsole construction. And this is similar to the low top model as well. And that's why I also like this model. So this model is pretty much similar to the low top ballistic trainers in the sense that the midsole, outsole, and pretty much the upper is fully the same, sans like obviously the extended boot. But that being said, this midsole and outsole do a really good job at providing you with enough stability, but also just enough versatility to where they're not super uncomfortable if you do want to use them in versatile training sessions. I don't often opt for mid and high top shoes for CrossFit or cross training, but this model will work in those contexts, and the midsole that it offers, that dual gradient midsole, and the outsole provide you with a nice level of stability and versatility. My third pro with this model is the upper construction. And this is one of the things I also liked about the low top model is that with this Cordura ballistic nylon, it's very durable. So you get that through the midfoot and the heel back here, and then you have a warped knit up here on the toe box. Both of these materials are pretty dang durable across the board, especially for abrasion resistance or just being able to wipe down and clean really easily if you get them dirty outside. And I personally like that. Like, I've been wearing these a lot over the last 2 weeks, and before this review, like, they were covered in salt because it's been snowy and they've been putting down a ton of salt here in Denver. But I did a quick wipe down before this review, and like, as you can see, like, the upper looks already like brand new again, very clean, and the midsole just has a couple of spots that you can easily just wipe away if you just had a wet cloth. So overall, I really enjoy the upper in this model and how durable it is and how easy it is to clean. But now let's talk about a couple of cons I do have with this model. All right, so 2 potential cons I do have with the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top is number 1, they are pretty heavy. So for one of my shoes in a size 10 model, we have a weight of 15.15 ounces, and that is much heavier than most low top training shoes. So that being said, this is why I don't really like this shoe for more cardio focused work or for CrossFit and cross training, especially for longer sessions. Here and there, they're fine. But I think if you're using them for longer cross-training sessions, they can feel a little bit heavy and clunky at times. The second potential con I could see folks having with this model is that they do take a week or 2 to break in. So that's similar to the low top model as well. Because we have a slightly thicker midsole and outsole construction, they do take a little bit of time to break in. And what I would suggest is that if you are rocking these and you're tightening up the top a lot, I would say wear longer socks just to prevent any rub. I didn't have an issue with rubbing in the ankles of these, even when I wore them loose. But I would say hedge your bets there just to make sure, because the nylon in the back is a little bit thick and rigid, especially in the break-in process. But those are 2 potential cons I have with the shoe. I think it's just recognizing also the context of mid and high top shoes. They're not always the best bets for cross training and CrossFit, and they might work for you in that context, but those are 2 potential cons that I could see others having with this model. When discussing performance of the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top, I'm going to break this section into a few different parts. We'll talk about lifting, more versatile training, shorter runs, and then daily wear. When it comes to lifting, I really like this shoe. The dual gradient midsole provides you with a nice amount of stability in squats, deadlifts, whatever you might be wanting to do in the shoe, and the outsole grips the floor really well. Plus, with the 2 different insoles you get in this model, you can swap in and out based off of what you prefer. So having a flatter insole or having an insole with a little bit of arch support. When it comes to loading, like, this model will support loads up to like 455 pounds pretty dang easily. So if you're like me and you want a mid or high top shoe for machine work, some barbell work here and there, and more of your strength focused days in the gym, this model works really well. When chatting on versatile training, the shoe is okay. I don't personally love wearing mid and high top shoes for CrossFit workouts or for cross training sessions, or even sessions where I'm doing a lot of plyos or lateral bounding or anything where I'm doing a lot of multi-directional activity, because I do feel like the ankle can be a little bit limiting. Plus, with this shoe's weight, I think that might be a drawback for some athletes and lifters who like having a lighter cross training shoe like myself. So for versatile training, they will work. However, I would say if you're looking to get a shoe primarily for longer sessions in those contexts, you may want to find a model that is a little bit more lightweight and has a lower boot construction. When it comes to shorter runs, similarly to versatile training, I would recommend probably looking into other training shoes or running shoes, because these are so heavy and pretty stable, you're not gonna get a lot of ground feedback with them, and they're not gonna be the most comfortable ride. So having a heavier shoe that is a bit more stable isn't always the best recipe when it comes to being a great model for shorter runs. So just keep that in mind if you get this model. Could you run in them? Sure. Are they gonna be the most comfortable? I don't think so. When it comes to daily wear, I really like this model, and I've already mentioned that in this video, but I like how simplistic they are when it comes to their branding. I like that they're easy to clean, and I like that I could rock these out to the bar, to the restaurant I'm going to, or just to run errands, or to like go work in a WeWork office, and then also wear them to the gym with shorts, and they look pretty dang good. So the versatility of their daily wear use, I think, is a big pro of this model, even though they may not be the best shoe for longer cross-training sessions and shorter runs. But overall, that's kind of the performance synopsis of the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top. If you have any other questions on their performance or how they fit into the context of your needs, hit me in the comments below. So now let's answer the question, who is this model best for? So I think if you are a lifter or athlete that likes having a higher boot construction for some of their lifting sessions and for daily wear, this model fits the bill really well. It is not going to be your best serious CrossFit shoe. That's because the weight and the overall boot construction, I feel like, can be a little bit limiting in certain contexts and exercises. But for that person that loves a shoe that has a higher boot for lifting and daily wear, I like this model a lot, and I also like that the upper is durable and easy to clean. So when it comes to sizing and fit in the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top, you should be safe going true to size. Plus the toe box does have a decent width to it, so I think for more neutral, narrow, and even slightly wider feet, you'll be safe going true to size in this model. Plus you get two different insoles, so you have a flatter insole here if you like having a flatter insole construction, and then you also have an insole that comes with this model that does have a little bit of arch. So I like that a lot because it gives you a little bit of variability there. But that being said, true to size is definitely the call in this model. When chatting on price in the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top, you can expect to pay $135 USD. Now, I think if you plan to use this shoe primarily for lifting and daily wear, then the price point makes sense. I don't think they're gonna be your best bet for CrossFit, cross-training, or more cardio-focused work. So I would say look into the low-top model or into other cross-training shoes for that. But in the context of lifting and daily wear, I think the price point is pretty fair for what this shoe offers. When looking at the weight, insole, and heel to toe drop in the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top for my size 10 model here, we have a weight of 15.15 ounces. This model does come with two different insole options. One insole has built-in arch support, while the other insole is designed to be a little flatter, and the shoe has an 8mm heel to toe drop. All right, now let's go over the construction of the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top. So up here on the toe, we have an extended outsole layer that wraps up. It's pretty wide, which I personally like for durability. And then we have a warped knit upper up here on the toe box. We have a thicker layer that covers the toe here, which is also great for durability. And overall, this material is pretty easy to clean, and it has a nice level of maneuverability to it. Making our way to the midfoot and heel, we have that GORUCK Ballistic nylon, which is pretty rigid. And as you can hear, like, it does have a really good abrasion resistance to it, and it's easy to clean and pretty dang durable. Making our way to the midfoot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyelets that go up. Personally, I actually don't always use the 7th eyelet. I like having it actually undone, especially if I'm just rocking these casually or for some casual lifting sessions, but you can lace them all the way up and you'll get a nice like locked down ankle positioning. The tongue has a nice construction to it. It's pretty lightweight, pretty maneuverable, and I like that they added a loop here so it doesn't get stuck down into the side of the shoe. And then making our way back here to the heel, we do have some GORUCK branding as well. And then we also have a nice heel counter back here that helps lock down that boot, so we do have a nice structure in the boot of the shoe. Making our way to the midsole, we have that gradient density EVA midsole. That's what gives this shoe its nice level of stability. And then we have a triple compound rubber outsole. So basically this rubber on the outsole is made with 3 different types of rubbers to provide you with a slightly different fit and feel for different parts of the shoe. We have an insole that comes with this model that does have a little bit of arch support. We have an insole here that has arch support for all 3 arches of the feet, which I think is really interesting and cool. And then it also comes with this insole that is completely flat, so you can swap out your insole based off of your fit preferences. As a whole though, that pretty much wraps up the construction of this shoe. There are a lot of subtle details in this model, which I really like. So if you do want to learn more, definitely check out their product page. But Overall, that's the construction for this model. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments below. All right, guys, that wraps up my review of the GORUCK Ballistic Trainers Mid-Top. Overall, I really like this shoe in certain contexts. If you have any questions on this model, hit me in the comments below or reach out to me personally, whichever you prefer. And as always, guys, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one.